Hey everybody, John Grimsmo here coming at you with another quarantine vlog. In this video, I don't know, I got a lot of projects to work on right now. I've been home for a couple days. Awesome family time. I did almost nothing work-wise yesterday until like 11 o'clock at night. And then I got a little bit of work done, but it was super nice. And then rip-roaring ready to go today. So I come in to find the Mori like stalled on a broken tool. And I'm like, wait, what tool is that? Tool 5? Wait, tool 5 never breaks. It's a 93 thou drill bit. Why is that broken? So let me show you. So tool is gone. It's above the tool setter right now where it touches off and checks it. So basically these are the clips. We have 3 operations when we make a pocket clip. We put it on the side and the end mill comes in and roughs out the contour that you see here. And then we put it here so we can drill the holes and do the engraving and thread mill the holes and stuff. And then we have the 3rd operation where it gets like that. It's the logo put on, profile, corner round, and then that's about it. One of these got mounted upside down. Oops! We haven't done that in forever. So, like it tried to drill right there and it broke because it deflected, and it's obviously wrong. It's upside down. So this leads to an interesting opportunity where we get to, especially as I'm thinking about how to mount clips on the Kern, it's a great time to think about how to idiot-proof something so that you don't put it in upside down. It only goes in one way. And all the clips that we have right now are symmetrical. They're totally like left to right. They should be in there, but they're not. Yeah, they're perfectly symmetrical all the way around. So in the first op, you can put them in upside down, right side up, upside down, any which way. But that gets trickier over here because they fit 180, but they shouldn't be. So we know to mount them this way, but obviously forgot this side. It's fine, mistakes happen. As you guys know, I make all kinds of mistakes. But my quick thinking is when the clip is mounted over here, if we zip a little feature, if my finger's an end mill and we come in and zip a little flat there on the water jet tab, and then come over the fixture here and mount a pin into the fixture so that the pin butts up against that flat, meaning the clip can only go in with that flat, exactly where that flat is. Can't be upside down, can't be rotated, can't be anything. And that would just involve drilling and pressing in a pin there and adding a little zip tool path right there. I think that's a super simple, awesome solution. But for now, I'm going to remove that bad clip. I'm going to replace the drill bit. I'm going to hit go. It's going to run all day while we play on other stuff. Just like last video, I got to go to the Tornos first. I got a lot of parts to make. Alright, onto this guy. Well, hello. So, I've had a lot of time to think during this whole quarantine period, whether it's at work or at home, and it's been wonderful. It's allowed me to really dig into my own brain about where I want to take this business, where I want to take all the processes that we do and all that stuff. So, something that's been weighing heavily on my mind is I'm the only person that can run this machine, and that's not how you grow a scalable business. And it's not just this machine, it's a lot of stuff only I can do, because I don't know if it's ego or pride or like I just want to be the smartest guy in the room that does that, and that's not my intention. I'm analyzing my own thoughts and wondering if that's the reason. But anyway, I like to know stuff. I like to be an expert. I like to train myself and teach myself how to do amazing things, and that's fun. How do I get that into other people? And as we've hired more people, I've learned a lot of skills in that regard, but specifically, I gotta get more people trained on this machine. So what I've been doing for the past half hour is just pull out my phone, open up a Google Docs folder called Tornos, actually main folder, training documents, subfolder Tornos, subfolder setting tools. So I just started word vomiting how to set tools in text, and eventually I can put pictures in, I can do a quick video, add it to there. I think everybody in the business can start doing this, but having training documents, how to do things, gets the information out of my head, not only into paper so that I don't necessarily have to remember it all the time. I have my own reference, but it'll shorten the learning curve for a lot of other people as well. And it's something I've been thinking about for a couple of years now, and I've done little bits here and there, and we do it sometimes and we don't do it sometimes, and then we forget about it and we never check back. And I think it just needs to be like an established process, like, okay, we're doing this now. I want everybody to, you know, establish training documents for basically everything that they do, so that the document is the expert. It's up to date. There's a date field on it. It's got everything up to date. And I think if done holistically across the whole business, and from everybody and for everybody, I think it would transform the way that business is run. And there's no better time to start than right now. So I'm really glad I got that one document down, and then keep going. Keep going. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, but hopefully it's time up front that I'm willing to invest. Of course, I'm willing to invest it, and hopefully it'll pay off, which I'm sure it will. But yeah, a couple quick thoughts for you. Just wanted to get that out there. All right, just wrapping up my hands-on work making these pivots. A couple tweaks I had to make, critical stuff, and so I made a bunch that I thought were good, but let me show you why they're bad. And fun fact, I just realized that I can actually use the M50 camera that I'm on right now, and I can get in here and do that. Ah, that's so cool. It's not totally in focus, but you can see how gross that engraving is. Let's see if I can yeah, so I gotta replace that engraving tool. It's a 1/32 two-flute ball mill that, I don't know why it gets gross like that so fast. It shouldn't, but let's take a look. That was cool. All right, machine just stopped. Stop, reset. Open the door. Let it drip everywhere. So it's this guy right here. I can see a little flap of metal hanging on there, so maybe the tool is chipped, and I don't know. Let's pull it out. Let's look at it under the microscope. All right, let's take this guy over to the microscope, see what was wrong with it. It's funny because I made 2, 4, 6, 8. I made like 10 parts, and dimensionally I got them bang on. And then this last thing I didn't realize until 10 good parts in, that visually I needed to look under the microscope for the engraving, make sure it looks good. And yeah, so now I have 10 tolerant parts, but bad finish. So that's okay. Got the tool replaced. Let's take a look here. What do I see? It doesn't look that bad. So that shiny high spot, the wear spot right there, is it's just wear. I don't know. It's the same on the other flute. So it's just worn. It's not chipped, it's not broken, it's just worn out. So, meh. New one just finished. Let's take a quick look. Huge difference. Yeah, that looks way better. Cool. So this is one of those things, man, that it's not really a tough call, but it's kind of a silly thing. Like, visually, to my eye, the bad ones, red equals bad. The bad ones look fine until you go into the microscope and they look like garbage. And that is the defining line between full Grimsmo and not. I know it's bad. I can't pass it. I can't do it. A lot of my customers are machinists or manufacturing guys or guys with an eye for detail. and I can't send that out. But anyway, I think we're making a good part. Let's make more. Well, that day disappeared. I did not film very much at all today. Did a whole bunch of admin stuff, did a whole bunch of designing on the computer. Let me show you what I got here. All right, so on one side of the tombstone, I'm gonna mount the Rask soft blade. So basically we're looking at what will start out as a water jet blank, and then we're cutting these features into it, those features, the profile up to there. So I gotta figure out, I did these like 3+ years ago, I gotta figure out exactly where that terminates. And then I have an old finished blade, this one's DLC coated from years ago. So this way I can start to line up and see, okay, the swoop out is about 3/8 of an inch behind the tip. That's very much on purpose. Actually, I'll have to reanalyze and see if I want to keep doing it like that. I think I do. But yeah, so in here, I got a whole bunch of sketch geometry. I got to machine a trough into the outside so that when I use an end mill around the outside of the part, I can dip it below the surface a little bit, because some of the end mills I like to use have a little corner radius. And then I gotta figure out my little swoopy at the end there. And this section right here is for our custom double corner radius tool. And what this guy does is it goes into the blade and it puts a corner radius on both the top and bottom of the blade, so you don't have to flip it over. When I came up with this like 4 or 5 years ago, had it made by Lakeshore Carbide, it saved us an entire flip, an entire another operation, so that all the blades, all the machining gets done just from the one side, which is awesome. But it's a little bit of a tricky tool because you got to set the tool height perfect. It can't be too high, it can't be too low, otherwise you're going to have, you know, an undercut top or bottom. So yeah, so this needs a trough in the fixture to be able to go, you know, plunge so far below the surface. So that's what this sketch is all about right there. And it took a surprisingly long amount of time to figure it out. So this is the tool path that the tool is going to take. It's going to plunge in there, and it's going to actually, got to make sure it clears the clamp. I drew up this little guy. This is going to be my tool. So I can follow this, I can make sure, yes, it's going to clear the clamp. It's going to go all here, it's going to go here, and then it's going to lead out. And clearance in the fixture for that, drilled hole for that, drilled hole for my screw locations. We're getting there. So I'm mildly sad that I don't get to run anything in the Kern today. However, I've got a big day planned for tomorrow, so we should make some really good progress. I'm happy I got the Tornos figured out, making parts all day on that, so that's been awesome. Got the Mori running right now, making more Norseman parts. So yeah, pivots, Norseman pivots going on the Tornos right now. Probably tomorrow, I'll change it out and start making either screws, or 440 screws, or thumb studs. Maybe we'll do thumb studs first. And actually I've got an interesting, I gotta change the way I make the threads in the thumb stud, because I'm not having good results with the current way that I do it. So I'm gonna try a different way. I'm gonna flip it over and machine it backwards. That's gonna take some thinking. But yeah, we're almost out of those parts and some others. So there'll be a lot of lathe work coming up. And I gotta get this fixture finished on the Kern. Anyway guys, that does it for me today. I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you again tomorrow.